welcome to this. Hello everybody and welcome to this YouTube video on how you can get grade 9s in English language and literature GCSE. My name is Rosia and I'm a year 13 student. I did my GCSEs a couple of years ago and I wanted to share with you the best tips that I have from my experiences so you can get the top grades that you are capable of. Even though I know this year has been especially hard on many people because of school closures and the pandemic, with perseverance you can still be able to make the most of your final year of GCSE studies. Even though English is one of the most difficult GCSEs, it's also one of the most satisfying once you're able to put in that effort to know your text and develop your writing style until the point of the exam. You know, I still love reading books, and this leads on to my first tip, which is to read a lot. Right now I'm reading these two books, which hopefully I want to get through by the end of the Christmas holidays this year. The first one is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, which is about a suicidal girl who goes into this library and there's lots of different versions of her potential lives and she needs to choose which one she will go with. And this one is called Circe by Madeline Miller, which is a sort of adult version of Percy Jackson. And the reason why reading will benefit your English GCSE is because subconsciously when you read these works, and these have been edited so many times by proper writers, you're taking in the best of their English abilities, and subconsciously your own writing will also become more fluid and better constructed. Just read fiction books that you enjoy, or even if you like running, just put on an audiobook. If you have Audible, which I strongly recommend you get because I just think it's such a good investment and they give you so many free audiobooks when you first join anyway. There's so many audiobooks available for download on YouTube which you can read along to your set texts for English literature and language GCSE instead of just reading them and having no motivation to get through the book. You can put a YouTube audiobook on 2x speed and be able to get a really good overview of the whole text in a very efficient way, which is a tip that I found out a few weeks before my English exams and I wish I had used sooner. It gave me such a good understanding of the text which I hadn't been properly bothered to read ever since my class went through it in lessons. So my first tip is just read, whether it be magazines, books, online articles. The more reading that you do, the better your own writing and analytical skills will be. Now my second tip is to take inspiration from elsewhere, and this can be from York Notes, CGP guides, your teachers, your peers, YouTube videos especially, even audiobooks. I bought an AudioPie Macbeth study guide which I listened to every day for a week whilst I was commuting to orchestra during the half term of February. And it really helped me give another view and understanding of the text that my teachers or YouTube videos didn't give. Instead of taking just advice from one source, the best way that you are able to develop your own ideas is to take advice from a variety of different sources, and ultimately then you'll have a whole bank of ideas to draw upon and you can pick and choose what to use in any essay title that you will get. Not only that, I think another great resource is your own peers and your teachers especially. Everyone has different ideas and the way that you are able to generate the best ideas is through the sharing of ideas, and that's essentially what I think the study of English is to be able to generate ideas and combine ideas with other people to be able to analyse another person's ideas through their writing. My third tip is to be nice to your teachers and your friends in your classroom. A lot of your English study time and class time will be spent discussing your opinions on the text, and I found a lot of my best ideas came from my peers and reading their writing and their essays which have scored high marks, as well as talking about ideas to my teacher and writing extra essays and sending them off to my teacher to kindly mark me, to give her opinion about how well I've developed my ideas and hit the mark scheme criteria. Just develop a good relationship with your teachers and classmates, and that will make your lessons more fun as well as your writing a lot better. Leading on from that is my fourth tip: to do practice papers and know your assessment objectives very well. Even though your writing and your ideas may be top class, if you don't know what the examiners are looking for, you won't be able to score the best marks that you can. The examiners are on your side, and you want it to be as easy as possible for them to see that you know what they are looking for. And you can do this by asking your teachers for the assessment objectives in English language and literature, as well as just looking on the exam board's website and reading exemplar essays from Mr. Bruff's and Mr. Sallows' English channels. I will link some resources of YouTube channels down below, and seeing how they've marked the essays that other students have sent in to them with the different assessment objectives. You may want to check with the different exam boards, because I did AQA and I think those YouTubers mainly focus on AQA, but ultimately I don't think there's a massive difference between exam boards, and they are just testing how well you know your characters, how well you know your themes in the literature, and for language, how well you can analyse an unseen piece of text and use the techniques that your teachers have taught you to look out for. Now next is my fifth tip, which is to know your texts inside out, and you can do this through reading them many times with audiobooks playing on the background and reading along to that, and annotating different quotes, making mind maps. I love making mind maps for my GCSEs and making them really colourful like this one, and I would have a character or a theme in the middle and lots of quotes or analysis on the sides from information that I took from YouTube videos and CGP study guides and York notes, to combine them all into a revision resource that I could just quickly look at. And for poems, I like making flashcards of quotes, and I just look through them before the test so I could have a good short-term memory of which quotes to use, because I don't think anyone can properly remember quotes in their long-term memory unless you look at them every day. But I found that cramming for quotes was a good way of being able to memorise good quotes, as well as writing essays. When I wrote essays, I was able to remember the quotes that I used for each particular essay because I'd already written about it and analysed it in an essay previously. My sixth tip is to know that hard work pays off ultimately, and to be honest, I think with enough dedication, and if you really want it, then you will have the motivation to be able to work for it and to be able to get the best grades that you can possibly get by being nice to your teachers and your classmates and using all the freely available resources on YouTube. So ultimately, English is able to expand your worldview and your writing abilities and your analysis skills, which will benefit you for the rest of your life. I'm so grateful for the English GCSE skills that I picked up from it. Even though it was very time consuming, I found that getting to know all the characters and themes in the novels that we studied is able to give me a greater insight into new books that I read. So I think about, does the writer's view point, is it affected by the time that the book was written, what was going on around it in the literature world, the context, the language techniques and everything like that. It really does give you a great understanding of literature, and you'll be able to enjoy it for the rest of your life if English GCSE doesn't scar you too much. I wish you just all the best. I know this year's been very hard for a lot of people, but even if you're not watching this year, just do your best and know that your hard work will pay off. So thank you so much for watching, and good luck and bye.